Hello, my name is Brendan Weeks. I'm very pleased to speak with you today about my research interests here in the Faculty of Education at the University of Hong Kong. I am part of the strategic research theme called Science of Learning. Science of learning is important in Hong Kong because of the way in which we use language to educate and instruct our youth and also our students here on the university campus. In fact, in Hong Kong, we have a trilingual, biliterate policy which affects everything that we do in Hong Kong life. My interest in being at the University of Hong Kong stems from my early concerns with the way in which language is processed in the brain. In order to understand this, we need to take a cross-linguistic perspective. We need to understand how it is that different languages shape and affect the way that neural processing happens over time, starting from early childhood, leading to older age. My mentor and great colleague, Professor Anne Cutler, was the first to notice that native language had an influence on spoken processing across different language types. These had major implications for the way in which we study language, both at the cognitive and neural level. I took the approach of studying language processing from the perspective of aphasia, which describes damage to the brain which leads to spoken language impairment. We can study patients who have aphasia in order to understand how the native language influences neural processing, because we might think that different languages have different effects when the brain is damaged. In fact, we find that more often than not, people who speak different languages have very similar neural processing in the brain. The next question I was interested in is to look at bilingual language processing, believing that perhaps different languages for a bilingual speaker might also have different effects at the level of neural processing. In fact, the study of bilingualism has shown, starting with my work in the late 90s, that at the neural level, even languages which are very different, such as Chinese and English, are processed by essentially the same areas of the brain. This has led to the hypothesis of language-independent neural processing, and that is the hypothesis that I'm continuing to study here as director of the Laboratory for Communication Science.